So Gemini is a large language learning model, and what that really means, it is allowing you as a user to search for information, but not like the normal Google search that we know today, but actually search and create content that is specific to you.
So we're looking at ways in which we can use AI to benefit mostly our staff in schools, and that's where we've probably started. But the potential is huge for using it in lots of different ways.
With lesson planning and delivery, Gemini has substantially reduced that time because I use it a lot for our grammar warm-ups at the start of English, and it can just produce me a 5-minute grammar activity, which sometimes we sitting there going through Google or BBC Bite Size going, that bit works, but this bit isn't going to, whereas Gemini, I can then tweak it and really perfect it.
One of the big things I feel is a benefit at the moment is in the world of education, there are many providers who provide worksheets and different tools. Ultimately, when you're using the resources, you're not always getting exactly what you want as a teacher to direct to the children. What Gemini enables you to do is it enables you to create a worksheet or a task how you wish to envision it in your head.
I used it very recently where there's a couple of boys in the classroom who support Manchester City, and I said, okay, let's look at this question about Man City and goals scored related to players. I quickly went to my desk, typed it into Google Gemini, a question about, can you give me a question that links to Year 6 question, maths ratio that involves Manchester City and a couple of their players, and it listed about 5 players, questions and ratios that they were able to use in the lesson, and it just engages that relationship. It makes it, I think, more personal to them.
The impact it has already had on well-being has already overwhelmed us. We do a lot of work with a strategy that we have called the Complete Human Strategy, which has got 6 different pillars, which looks at various areas of well-being. And we have seen that AI and the use of Gemini has already had a huge impact over 3 of those, and it allows us to do the job in the other 3 pillars, which then leads to an increased positivity feel across the school.
Sometimes when we have these schemes that we follow, we can look at a scheme and think, oh gosh, that's really dull. I can put that into Gemini and it creates a really nice lesson that has been adapted for the children in my classroom, and we can roll with that and they enjoy the lesson and the learning.
I use it every single time I'm planning lessons. I have Gemini open on a different tab. The biggest time saver, if I'm planning an English lesson and I have to write a paragraph using 4 fronted adverbials for them to find, then I can just get Gemini to generate it for me, and I know all the spelling will be correct and I'm not going to mess it up at all. I can just copy and paste it in, give it a quick proofread, and then I can move on to the next slide.
It's had a big improvement with teaching. You can see it. You can see with the using it, you can see the sparks back. I've heard it from teachers saying that it's a good starting block. It kicks off the lesson.
In its simplest terms, it freed up time to do the next step that you never get to. So this was the first year that we produced a secondary report for all of the staff. And Gemini wrote a lovely little bit at the beginning saying, we think you're great and thank you for everything that you do. And at first I thought, well, Gemini said that, but everything that it said was kind of what I was going to say. So that was fab.
I think the key thing with working with GTEC as Google's largest partner in education in the United Kingdom, we have an awful lot of experience. Now, that doesn't mean we know everything, but we can certainly offer a lot of advice.
For us, and I'm sure for all educators, every minute counts for our young people. And if there's an alternative or there's an initiative, something that we can use that will help us to create more time, give back time that might have been spent on administration, then they are going to be able to spend more time with children in classrooms. And for us, it's all about human interaction.
It just helps create lessons that are interesting.
And I'm not sitting there for hours coming up with example texts or grammar activities.
It's really helped the school to think about tailoring the needs to individual children as well as groups of children.
Us embracing strategies like that is part of the reason why we recently won the Wellbeing Trust of the Year award.
By using AI, we are aiming to have more opportunity for social, personal and human interaction in the classroom.
The most significant factor that has come out is just workload continues to be a challenge. It's the business of researching, looking, preparing, pulling resources together. The fact that that can be done in a blink of an eye, enables them to be more human in the classroom.